colleague in the webinar, Engineer T. Anjaya, Honored Secretary, Institution of Engineering, Telangana State Center, and Professor Dr. Ramna Nayak Banoth, Joint Honored Secretary, Institution of Engineers, Telangana State Center, family members of late engineers L. Venkatakrishnayer, KV Srinivasarao, and engineer ML Swamigaru, distinguished guests, fellow fraternity, budding engineers, past chairman, committee members, and media friends, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am very happy and consider it a great honor to be amidst this August gathering and extend a hearty welcome to all of you to engineers L. Venkatakrishnayer, KV Srinivasarao, and ML Swami 20th Endowment Lecture on Gandhian engineering through a framework of open innovation and lean management to be delivered by Dr. I.V. Murali Krishna F.I. Garu. It is an honor bestowed on us by Dr. I.V. Murali Krishna Garu, who has very kindly and spontaneously conveyed their concept to grace this function and to deliver the endowment lecture. In the year 2001, the then Andhra Pradesh State Center Committee had unanimously resolved to organize an endowment lecture annually at Andhra Pradesh State Center in honor of the great engineer, statesman, Padma Bhushan engineer L. Venkatakrishna Iyer, former chief engineer in the composite Madras state and past chairman Institution of Engineers, AP State Center, engineer KV Srinivasarao, former chief engineer irrigation and also past chairman IEA, AP State Center, and engineer ML Swami, former engineering chief irrigation and CAD department, who has rendered human service to the state of Andhra Pradesh in irrigation and power sector. Accordingly, the State Center of Institution of Engineering is organizing the above endowment lecture after formation of Telangana State also every year. I am very glad to inform that Telangana State Center of the Institution of Engineering has been regularly, we are organizing 17 endowment lecture every year on the birthdays in honor of the eminent engineers like Engineer V. Subbarao, Engineer M. Tirupati Reddy, and Dr. J. Purushottam Koka Krishnamohan Rao Garu, and Engineer G.V. Subbarao Garu, Engineer T. Hanmantarao, and A.P. Ranganatha Swami, Professor S. Raghavachari, and Dr. Nala Thatharao, and Engineer Matur Gopal Rao Garu, and Engineer Gurram Kotireddy Garu, and Atluri Venkateshwara Rao Garu, and Engineer R.L. Raju, and Dr. M.E.R.L.N. Rao, and Engineer M.L. Swami, and L. Venkatakrishna Iyer, and K.V. Srinivas Rao. Today we are celebrating, and also Dr. A. Ramakrishna and Engineer I. Baswaraju. Like that, we are 17 endowment lecture we are celebrating in our center. The endowment lecture being delivered by the people of high eminency with considerable professional experience to throw light on the emergent, important and emerging topics of today's relevance. I could like to say few words about LVS, KVS, and MLS for information of the chief guest and speaker of today's endowment lecture. Engineer L. Venkatakrishna Iyer served as the chief engineer in the composite Madras state and retired on May 7th, 1943. He was associated with the Nagarjuna Sagar project, originally taken by the joint venture of Andhra Pradesh and Hyderabad states. When the Andhra Pradesh came into existence 1962, he was elevated as the Secretary of Government PWD at the ripe age of 88 years. He is the past chairman of our Institution of Engineers, Andhra Pradesh State Center. He was the recipient of the Padma Bhushan Award for his meritorious work. Engineer K.V. Srinivas Rao joined in the PW department as assistant engineer in the year 1939. He worked in various capacities as the assistant engineer, executive engineer, superintendent engineer in irrigation department. He became a chief engineer in 1962. Later, he was promoted as a member and Center Water and Power Commission, Government of India. He was appointed a chairman Andhra Pradesh State Electricity Board in 1972 and retired in 1974 with an outstanding record of his service. He was the past chairman of the Institution of Engineers India, AP State Center. He undertook many major irrigation projects and responsible for the many power projects in Andhra Pradesh. Engineer M.L. Swami served in the state of AP in various capacities in Krishna Godavari deltas and Vamshadhara project, Srishalam project, Nagarjuna project, and various other medium and major irrigation projects. He also served as a project engineer in the elsewhere AP State Construction Corporation and also general manager of the National Hydroelectric Power Corporation, New Delhi. He retired as a engineering chief, government of Andhra Pradesh in 1983. The three are the stalwarts in the engineering department. Really, we are very happy for celebrating the Endowment lecture in the name of three eminent engineers every year in our Telangana State Center now also. Since you are all anxiously waiting to hear talk from our today's eminent speaker, so I am limiting myself. I hope all of you will enjoy this talk today. Once again, on behalf of the Institution of Engineering Telangana State Center and my own behalf, I extend hearty welcome to the chief guest and to all of you for this important event. Thank you, one and all. Now I am requesting Professor Dr. Ramanayak Banat. Please introduce today's chief guest and the speaker of the Endowment lecture, the Murali Krishna Garu.
Thank you, Chairman sir. Good evening, you
Over
all.
to Ramanayak Banat.
Thank you, Chairman sir. Thank you. It's a great pleasure to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Avi Muralikrishna Garu. Dr. Avi Muralikrishna Garu, can you hear me, sir? Sir, వినపడుతుందా?
Yes,
Hello?
yes, yes.
Yeah. Dr. Avi
వినిపిస్తుంది
Muralikrishna
వినిపిస్తుంది చెప్పండి.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Dr. Muralikrishna Garu got PhD from the Premier Institute of Sciences, Bangalore in 1977. Dr. Muralikrishna was a professor and director of Research and Development Center at the Jawaharlal Nehru Technology University until 2008. Dr. Muralikrishna Saab was a Dr. Raja Ramana Distinguished Fellow at Defense Research and Development Organization, Dr. Abdul Kalam Missile Complex, Government of India, Hyderabad, and also National Coordinator, Data Analysis, Geospatial, Public Health, and National Networking DST Government of India project under 15 institutions in the country. He was the chief advisor to the UC Berkeley Institution of in the country. He was the chief advisor in the UC Berkeley, professor in Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, and professor of
అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకున్నావు రమణ ప్లీజ్.
He was summer school faculty at University of Dundee, Scotland, UK. He is now the advisor of the Health Data Analysis of Administrative Staff College of India, Hyderabad. Geospatial AI and Earth observation system data analysis for sustainable development are the areas of his research and teaching and consultancy. He is a member of senior member in IEEE USA for the last 26 years. Fellow of Institute of Engineers, Fellow of Academic Sciences, Fellow of International Congress for the Disaster Management. He did his Nalsar University course on cyber laws. He started his career as a faculty of Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, and later as scientist in LVI and ISRO Premier Center, National Remote Sensing Agency, Government of India. Dr. Muralikrishna Saab established a Center for Spatial Information Technology, CST at JNTU University, Hyderabad, and instituted a state-of-art technology courses and carried out of more than
మళ్ళీ మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకున్నావు. మ్యూట్ చేసుకుని అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి.
weather informatics and modification studies in Andhra Pradesh as well as AP. He guided about 40 scholars for PhD degree and faculties of computer science, ECE, natural resource and management, etc. He published more than 80 papers in peer-reviewed journals in about 90 papers in national and international conferences. He delivered innovative talks in various international conferences, and national conferences in India and abroad. He was a member of national committees and accessible policy, ND, SAP, and NR, NNRMS committees of MOEF, Minister of Environment for the Government of India, as a member of several expert committees in UGC, MHRD, DST, DSIR, ISRO, ACT, UPSC, ABPSC, and TechU. Dr. Murugis have received several awards, including the Prestigious Award from the state government and Eminent Education Award in the Indo-American Education Summit in 2016. Thank you, sir. I'm very happy for related to my guru, Dr. Murugis. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ramna Nayak Bhanu. Thank you very much. Sir, now I am requesting today's chief guest, Sri LV Murali Krishna Garu. Please start your talk, sir.
Yeah, is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Is the screen visible? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Are you?
Yes.
Ramana Nayak garu,
Full screen.
Are you able to hear me? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
You are able to see my screen?
You are audible, sir.
You are able to see my screen? My screen?
Yes, sir. You are able to screen, sir. Please proceed. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me pay my deep respects to engineers L. Venkatakrishna Iyer, Sri KV Srinivasarao garu, and ML Swami garu, and for their great contribution to the profession in different parts of the country and the world, and globally also. And my sincere thanks to the Institute of Engineers for giving me this opportunity to give this endowment lecture on some topic of current importance. And I have a small observation to request to Chairman, sir. Institute of Engineers, Telangana State Chapter, I always consider as my home. I never consider them, I'm a guest to them. So, but it is a, it is a great privilege that you are me also a guest. So coming to my home as a guest is indeed a great honor. So I thank Chairman Rameswara Garu and T. Anjay Garu, Honorary Secretary, Ramana Nayak Garu, Joint Honorary Secretary, and esteemed members of the Institution of Engineers and other guests, and former Vice Chancellor of Krishna University, Vannam Venkaya Garu, and others. It is indeed a great privilege for me that to get associated with the endowment talk this evening. And I have selected a topic which is not at perfect in all the dimensions, but this is the topic I'm doing research for the last about 2.5 years on what are the issues of the current technology and what are the issues that are mentioned by eminent people, and including the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. What we can do, how we can do those issues. So first of all, I'll say happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. If they're in harmony only, you get the happiness. The other important quotation I have on my screen is, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. That is what exactly, either in technology, in profession, or in life, or in any aspect of interaction, adaptability is the greatest asset. And it's not that we survive not because of the strength, not because of the intelligence. So considering these issues, where we go about issues, of Gandhian thinking. Before we talk about Gandhian thinking, Gandhian engineering, and other issues, I will say we cannot solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. That is as per the Albert Einstein said, and management is doing things right, whereas leadership is doing right things. So doing things right and doing right things, there is a lot of difference, and you can be a manager or a leader. So once you want to be a leader, you have to do right thing. That is what Peter Drucker says. And the other important definition of illiteracy is the illiterate of 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, or relearn. That is what exactly the new definition of the illiteracy in the 21st century. Now, the technologists need to acquire both leadership and management skills. That means so exactly they want to they should become avant-garde. Avant-garde are the people who are essentially doing works in experimental basis in an unorthodox manner with respect to any profession, originally art, culture, or society, but it is frequently characterized by some sort of great innovation and initial unacceptability. When I'm talking about Gandhi and engineering, I consider this avant-garde example because it may not be accepted immediately by the intellectuals, by the society, unless it proves some sort of benefits to the profession, to the society. Considering these issues, where we can think about it, what are the points we can need to think about it. So design thinking is one of the most important issues, is the most distinctive way today we need to achieve innovation and overcome any of these challenges. The other one is the lean project management. Also, lean project management is a way of optimizing the people, resources, say energy towards creating value so to some sort of customer. And this has got essentially the 5 principles which you will see in course of my talk. But before we talk more about the lean project management, the 2 tenets of the lean project management are the customer improvement and respect for people. How these are all connected? I'm talking to 3 different things like Gandhian engineering, then the open innovation, including design thinking and lean project management. Where these things stand, essentially, that's what exactly we are saying. Design thinking, in one way or other, is a different aspect. When exponential technology, we are all surrounded by new developments in the technology. But before that, the Newton, who formulated the first laws of motion, when he developed the steam engines, we had the Industrial Revolution 1.0. When considering these issues, when the Moore's law, which was stated as doubling the density of semiconductor circuits every 2 years, whereas Metcalfe's law said increasing the value of communication networks by the square of the number of people on network. These 2 are considered to be very, very important guiding factors for the technologies, because the way the technology has developed, Industrial Revolution 1 has given certain scope, Industrial Revolution 2, after about 150 years, has given certain development, and Industrial Revolution 3, only 1950s, has given the information technology for the use, whereas Industrial Revolution 4, today we talk about knowledge, information and knowledge. The IR 4.0, which has been launched at Davos during 2016, the emphasis is on the knowledge. So considering these developments, the technology, the way the technology has increased, essentially is a very unique way, because today we can access any type of information anywhere in the world at the click. What you call as open source software as one of the building blocks has come, and also to store all the data in the cloud where you pay for what you are using. So, but all is not essentially well. When you are talking about these developments, productivity is not in the same rate at the growth of the technology. That is what I call as exponential technology. We are surrounded by exciting new developments, but the technology is moving very fast. Technology is growing very fast. Technology is developing very fast. Essentially, the pace of the technology, application of the technology, not in the commensurating with the same speed of the growth of the technology. Considering, for example, you just see the smartphone. See, when in 1980s, It is supercomputer. If you have to look into the computer power, today's smartphone is a computer, a phone, a game player, a CD player, a video recorder, a playback device, a watch, a calendar, a calculator, and so on. This is illustrative. Whatever I listed written, it can do. A mobile phone today, a smartphone can do several things than what are all these things I am mentioning. So considering these issues, where we stand, what exactly are the issues we have to learn from the culture, from the traditions, from the knowledge, and where we can integrate the emerging technologies so that the exponential technology is brought to a level into which we can use those devices in a most formidable manner. Essentially, so this is what exactly I was talking about, of exponential technology, access to information, open source software, cloud infrastructure. These are all the things which we already talked about it. At this particular time, let me say, to get more and more from less. Gandhian engineering was originally the word defined by Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, who was the former Director General of CSIR, and who is essentially considered that it is as a mission to get conceived, to get more from less, becomes much more germane and worth embracing in the present digital age. That is what emphasis made by the Dr. Mashelkar. He said the leadership has to be convex. Convex means essentially that all the light coming parallelly, that means people working parallelly without talking to each other, they converge into one particular place, and that creates the focus. So ultimately the convex leadership and the Gandhian engineering is focusing on the convex leadership. Convex leadership means people working in silos need to converge, need to focus, need to integrate to a particular point. That is one of the most important aspects and conceived when Dr. Mashelkar was mentioning. But when he mentioned there are certain issues that were not there, so I'm just trying to add what are the new technologies, the tools of data analytics, tools of the management. They can be integrated, whether it's a lean management or agile management, how it becomes a composite tool, advanced Gandhian engineering, so that the empathy, the pain points of the people could be addressed in the society. That is the essence of this thing. Gandhian engineering is a thinking, I find, stress and innovation that should be just affordable. That means it develops a product which is affordable, not just affordable, it should be extremely affordable. That is what is the says, and it's more from less for more. That is what exactly is the concept behind the I'm just okay, behind the so the saddest aspect, one of the eminent scientific fiction writers says the saddest aspect of life right now is that science, I'm not able to see the screen here. Science gathers knowledge faster than the society gathers the wisdom. That means, na vivekam vinajnanam. That is what exactly it says. Wisdom is slower, but the knowledge is acquired very fast. And the question is the function of science to produce knowledge that is not guided by wisdom? Is science only about exploration and explanation of lower order truths? What is it and how is it? Or should it also be guided by truth, what that incorporates ethics and the defining purpose of the human existence, whys and why nots? So Gandhian engineering aims integration of all these three above. You need to integrate knowledge. The science is gathering knowledge, but also you need to gather with wisdom. That becomes more efficient, more purposeful, and meets the pain points of the people. So we need empathy. Empathy ultimately is the major component today in design thinking, open innovation, or lean project management. Whatever we talk in the same thing in different words, different jargons. So empathy plays a very, very significant role, and which because it addresses the basic issues of human existence and development. So this is what exactly a frame I'm just trying to think, conceptual framework of Gandhian engineering. We need open innovation, that is exponential technology, and it provides you technical feasibility, and lean project management. It provides you value And Gandhian thoughts, empathy is the wisdom. Knowledge comes from the innovation. This comes from the implementation. This comes from the wisdom. So knowledge, wisdom, and implementation. These three, I put it as red, blue, and green. Three primary colors. Red is knowledge, science through open innovation. Green is values, continuous improvement, and respect for the people. That's a major tenet of the lean project management. So continuous improvement and respect for people. These are the two most important components under the lean project management, which has got 5 values, which we will see in course of the time. And now basically wisdom through Gandhian thoughts, including economic viability. So the open innovation or the original Gandhian engineering is not much as conceived by Mashelkar and other people. It lacks the basic component of economic viability. So economic viability and wisdom, these two combined with knowledge is guided by wisdom, it goes to the knowledge. And these, I just put the arrows both the sides because each one feeds, the knowledge feeds the implementation and implementation feeds the knowledge. So, and again, the wisdom feeds the management and management gives the wisdom. And here knowledge gives you wisdom, wisdom gives the knowledge. So this is what the three components I call as a conceptual framework of Gandhian engineering. Well, we talk about these three aspects. What are these outcomes? There could be a product, there could be a process. So basically, these are two are visible things: a product or a process. We see many products are developed, and the same product is developed in a different manner. That is a process. You have a process as well as a product. But there are two other components like customer satisfaction and business development. I just give an example of customer satisfaction. When we say customer satisfaction, essentially, I deal here the old way of sending a particular courier is just nobody has to wait. Today we can monitor what is happening, and because of the time limitation, I have to rush through some of these issues. But ultimately, the products, processes, customer satisfaction, and business development. Business development example, I give you a 5-day test match, played 5 days and got only very nominal money. But today, 1-day test, almost what I read in the economic things is gives you 180 times the revenue that was created by a 5-day test match. So that is the business development, innovation, knowledge, value creation, project management, essentially to develop aiming towards the products, processes, customer satisfaction, and business development. That is what exactly is one of the issues. So how do you develop the knowledge? What you call as a triple helix framework. So you have a triple helix framework essentially deals with the government, funds the research, and the research people convert that fund into knowledge, and that knowledge is transferred to the industry, and industry develops a product and pays the taxes to the government. Government is giving money to the research has to be converted into knowledge, and this transferred to the industry, and the industry gives the products and pays the tax to the government. That is how the government gets back the money, should get back the money funded through the research. That is what is called as the triple helix framework. Business development, funding, etc. So considering these issues, there are two things. We have got many things. For example, if I ask any person who has invented the electric bulb, any person, any student, even a 5th class student says Thomas Alva Edison. But let us see who is the real issue. Have you heard of these names? I don't think anyone of us heard these names. Nicholas Cunard, Gary Kildall, Swan, Talbot, Howe, Gray. We never heard these names, but they are the people who invented automobile, PC software, light bulb, photography. We say photography, this fellow, but normally we say Eastman. Sewing machine, we say Singer. Telephone, we say Graham Bell. Light bulb, we say Thomas Alva Edison. And automobile, we say Ford. But basically, that is not the issue. But these are the main people who invented these products. And today, nobody knows about these products. The entire world is thanklessly forgot about those people who really invented these products. But it remembers these people: Henry Ford, Steve Jobs, Thomas Edison, George Eastman, Singer, Alexander Graham Bell. So what is the difference? Why we are not remembering those people who invented, but those people who innovated? Innovation plays a very, very important role. Innovator need not be inventor. Innovator is the foresight holder. He knows, he observes, he tries to compromise. He observes things. He is the person who translates a particular environment into a usable product. So, for example, the electric bulb was not only invented by Joseph Swan, it was invented by more than about 22 investigators during the time frame 19th century. What happened to all those 22 people? Only we talk about Thomas Edison, who has not invented the light bulb. He has made a unique combination. He took the bulb. All these people like Swan and other people invented the bulb, and they kept the bulb in their drawer and published a paper, got a patent, and they didn't do anything. But this is a Thomas Alva Edison who has brought that bulb. He connected with the wires and put a switch and showed to the world, this can provide you light. That is where the innovation. That is where the people have done things, and we talk about innovator today more and more confidently. Essentially, we need remember innovators, not the inventors. That is what exactly is the basic difference between an innovator and inventor. So ultimately there can be an inventor, but we need more and more innovators, because you observe, you empathize, you see the surroundings, what is happening at a particular place, how can I help these people, and what are the needs of these people, how I can make technology pull. See, we see many times technology push, but technology push means whatever technology I know, I'll put it there and try to push on the people. That is not a meaningful solution. But technology pull, people want certain technologies, agriculturist, educationist, health specialist, entrepreneurship people, vocation specialist, and the rural people, farmers, they want technology in a way that is useful to them, not just a technology brought to them and focused on them. So that is where the innovation plays a very, very important role. And that is the objective of the program we are handling with UC Berkeley, the Garwood Center for Corporate Innovation, and Professor Solomon Darwin. We're all working on this particular program, how we can develop the technology, how can we sustain the technology in a meaningful manner, what are the issues for technology pull. That is what exactly is the issue. While doing that issue, the development of innovation, open innovation applications to rural people, I was thinking, what is the Gandhi has said, what Mashelkar has said, and Mashelkar's observations. I just got a lot of inspiration from his great work and try to implement whether I can do the Gandhian engineering combined with the modern tools of technology. For example, the development of nanocar and Jaipur food are powerful and glaring Indian examples that demonstrate the concept of getting more and more from less and less, as narrated by the Dr. Mashelkar. What exactly they have done? Essentially, it could be a nanocar or a Jaipur food or a Ford car developed by, because Henry Ford did not invent the automobile or the assembly line. He did, however, change the world by using an assembly line technique to produce cars which could be afforded by everyone. That way, he could bring the cost of the car in the beginning of the 20th century, that is during 1927, to almost less than $300. That is one of his greatest contribution to the society. While doing this, coming to nano car, what exactly is the development of nano car? See, the nano car development has taken many standard conventions, broke all the conventions. He took the Ratan Tata, actually, when he was driving on the road, he saw a couple driving a two-wheeler and he saw them getting drenched in the rain, and immediately has got passion and compassion. He thought, when I can do something, can I do something? Can I provide a vehicle, a car to the small people at a cost not more than $1 lakh? So he called his people and everybody said it's not possible. But he took 2 or 3 of his people and sat together and observed the surroundings, what are the tools that are available, and took the helicopter mechanism and the seats and windows and the dashboard of the two-wheeler and the fuel lamps of the two-wheelers, etc. And he combined all these things and created a car which is less than $1 lakh. That is the greatest innovation he has carried out. Ultimately, considering these things, while doing these issues, I think we need to think, where are the developments, what are the developments that are going to take place at any particular point. So Jaipur food is ultimately, when we say Gandhian engineering, it stresses it's a frugal innovation, should be affordable. but extremely, not just affordable, it should be extremely affordable, taking that particular issue. More from less is what exactly is the concept that has developed. So the Jaipur food is developed by, I think it's one person named by Bhagavan Mahavir Viklang Sahaja Samiti at Pune, funded by Devendraj Mehta, who was the former governor of deputy governor of Reserve Bank of India, and it is the parent body of the Jaipur food. And here he has developed a specific way. See, US also has developed a foot, but that foot requires very strong pavements. It cannot jump. You can only walk slowly. Ultimately, you cannot do any sort of exercises, etc. But here, the Sudha Chandran, the famous dancer who lost her right leg and was given an artificial leg, Jaipur foot, she continued to provide inspiration through the dance to many disabled people who aspired to dance. That is what exactly is the contribution of the Jaipur foot. So I'll skip these things because it has become very, very prominent in 600 districts of the country, apart from 33 countries, wherein Jaipur foot has become indeed India's symbol of compassion, passion and compassion, and empathy makes people to think of making the disabled people to walk. That is the greatest issue. Ultimately, when you are trying to develop a certain component in one way or other. While doing these issues, we talk about the fourth industrial revolution. I think we already talked about it. Now, the 5 lean principles is lean is ultimately, it is a technique, it is a tool, it is a method, both a philosophy and a discipline, which has its core, essentially the 5 principles. At its core, the lean principles are your business methodology is one of the very, very important aspects. And the customer going through these issues are basically, we need to have continuous improvement and respect for people are the 2 important things. I will not talk much about these 5 values. Values are defining value, mapping the value system, creating the flow, and pursuing perfection, and establish pull. Pull is most important, technology pull. What is needed, what is required, what is looked after, how the life, they can improve their life. Those are the tools of essentially in terms of the lean project management. This is what exactly is the issue. And teams all over the world from sales to software are adopting this lean management concept. Here, I just defined a particular flow chart. We can talk about integrated phase of Gandhian design thinking, lean project management, agile management. Well, it requires a lot of explanation. I'll just quickly go to definition phase, research phase, empathy phase, ideation phase, prototyping phase, evaluation phase. You define a problem, you find out what are the solutions, go to the people who are going to use that problem and how they can use that particular solution. That means empathy means you have to keep your legs in the shoes of the person who are going to use that particular product process. So then get an idea and prepare a prototype and validate those things. This is what exactly is the flow chart, integrated phase of Gandhian design thinking, lean project management, and agile management in different projects. So here design thinking methodology along with the open innovation identify the right solution for their challenges, whereas lean project management is defined to solution. It has got the scope to observe a particular phenomenon. Lean project management doesn't envisage development mass production. It develops a product, a prototype, and gets it validated and goes for the agile methodology for development and implementation. These are different phases of the issues. So ultimately, the Silicon Valley, how it was created over a period of the time, creates a significant amount of enthusiasm. See, when during the World War II, the American president has asked 3 universities, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Stanford, and University of California, Berkeley, not to publish any of their research works. And he asked them, the entire industry, to go to the 3 universities and find out what research they are doing and use the research findings to develop a product, a process, a customer satisfaction, a business model. Can we do it? That's what exactly posed as a challenge. The entire industry went to all these 3 institutions, and the focus has been on the development of knowledge and information flows, because knowledge is sticky and information flow is very, very important. And it has created over a period of the time from 1848 to the current period, or this has got this slide, it requires a lot of explanation. We'll do it. I'm just skipping, except to say the Silicon Valley concept is because of open innovation. Ultimately, opening the gates to the industry. The entire knowledge has been put in for the industry, and the industry has used that particular knowledge. Those are the issues of triple helix. Triple helix says government gives funds to the universities, research institutions, and research institutions transfer that knowledge to the industry, and industry develops the product and pays taxes to the government so that it gets back its money. So that is the triple helix movement, which is faithfully, significantly, sincerely, perfectly implemented in Silicon Valley development. So now we'll talk about open innovation, is use of purposive inflows and outflows of knowledge to accelerate internal innovation and expand the market. That is exactly the chess bros rule. And this is open innovation. That means open innovation, take ideas from any point of the world. You have your internal problems. Don't put your internal problems alone, but pose those problems to the outside, and you get the knowledge outside, you give your products to outside and get the products from outside. That is how the open innovation works. There are several examples how open innovation was successfully implemented over a period of the time. So for example, I'll tell you Xerox, this Palo Alto Research Center in California, in the Bay Area. The Xerox company has got one major office in the East Coast, and it has developed a Palo Alto Research Center in 50, and it has funded a good amount of researchers, excellent researchers at the Palo Alto Research Center. It's all closed innovation. It's not an open innovation. It has got false negatives. That means Xerox said, we are not doing anything. That is false negative. Though a lot of work is happening, it said the entire world, we are not doing anything. We just established a laboratory at Palo Alto Research Center, and people are working and trying to develop. But during this period, they have developed some of the best products by the eminent scientist at Palo Alto Research Center, and this product developer went to Xerox company, and the company said, no, we don't want to develop any of those products for any other issue. We are concentrating on our own way of our own products in copying. But those people immediately left the organization. They went to companies like today, Adobe, Apple, Microsoft. These are all companies which have benefited by the Palo Alto Research Center rejection of the ideas by the people who at the helm of the affair. So those people, what they did at Palo Alto Research Center, they developed the graphical interface. They developed a bitmap screen, web searching, indexing technology, etc. So many technologies that are developed, and Xerox failed to make use of those things, and it put all these people away. And those companies which use the technology today are doing great work. For example, AT&T Bell Labs developed the transistor in 1948, and just developed and kept it in a cupboard, got a patent. But in 1958, it is Sony who took the technology and developed a pocket radio transistor. It was a Walkman, which was very popular during 50s, 60s at a cost of $450, $700. All the loss accrued by Sony during Second World War time has been compensated by this Walkman during that time period. So that is what exactly is required. So you need to be sort of an innovator. Inventory, somebody has done it. See what is happening all over the world. And the transition took 12 years from the value capture to the to value capture from the value creation. So it's not enough if you create the value, you have to capture the value. That is what exactly is the essence of the iPod. Also is the same thing. The Tony Fadell, who has developed from the Philips, and Philips people said we don't want to develop it, and he went to Steve Jobs at Apple, and Apple has taken that particular product and developed. And today we see iPod, how far it is, how much it is popular. So those are the requirements of any person, any issue, any institution, wherein you have to observe the surroundings, observe the phenomena, observe the products, observe the technologies, observe the pain points, what are the technologies that are available, what are the pain points, how I can match these two things is one of the very, very important critical issues to make persons like innovator. That is what Thomas Alva Edison, Ford, Eastman, all these people have done. So you have to scale the technology, profit from the technology, etc. So I put a value here, Gandhi engineering steps. These are all things which I'm conceiving at this point of the time. As a product, we need to create a value. So many people are creating value, integration of technologies, innovation, design thinking, lean management, agile management, different stages. They all come together. You go for design thinking, you empathize the situation, go for lean management, with develop a particular product, test it, validate, go for agile management, and then create the value, capture that value. That is one of the most important things. The Sony or the Adobe values, the Xerox, it failed here. It failed in capturing the value. It created the value. It's not enough. We see in the country, all major government laboratories produce patents. What is happening to all those patents? They are keeping those patents for getting promotion. But those patents should be thrown to the industry. The industry should say, okay, these are the patents I must use. Can I use them? And government can get a lot of money by selling those patents to the industry. But the government is definitely doing those things, but the requirement to be done is much, much more than what is being done. So once you capture the value, enhance that value, you have done once, it's not enough, and protect the value and sustain the value. These are the 5 important steps in the Gandhian engineering, which I'm redefining what has Mashelkar has said. Ultimately, we not doing more from more. It also has to sustain. It has to capture. It has to enhance. It has to protect. It has to sustain. This is what exactly is the application of the thinking. So design thinking, lean methodology, and agile management. These are the 3 important issues which we can need to consider at different parts. This I'm going to cover, not cover. Gandhian engineering includes artificial intelligence and communication. This is what I found from some of the literature observations. It's very interesting. And Gandhian engineering to get more and more from less, combined with enhancement by the 5 steps which I have mentioned here. These 5 steps of these things are playing very, very significant role here, and AI and communication, and we can talk further about it. And Gandhi has got a very, very specific views on industrialization. He is a deeper study of the totality of the views on life reveals that he was far ahead of his time, even on the subject of science and technology. We never hear what has been done. One of the important articles on this I happened to read is particularly the historian B.R. Nanda, one of the greatest interpreters of Gandhian philosophy. Gandhi's views on industrialization did not earn praise among the Indian intelligentsia and his colleagues in the Congress leadership. That means everybody was here, like the Xerox management or Philips management. Those people who left out, they created Adobe, Microsoft, value to the Microsoft and other companies which we have seen 3D graphics systems, etc. So considering these issues, one has to be a need to be an innovator. Gandhian engineering coupled with open innovation and lean project management integrated in one form or other, and the 5 steps of creating the value, capturing the value, enhancement, sustaining the value, create greatest development to the society. Ultimately, we need to talk about the getting more from the less. Where there is no vision, people perish, and passion transforms vision into a reality. Vision adaptation is one of the most, these are the catchwords. I must have vision, I must get adopted, I must have technology pull, not technology push. And this is my vision, that otherwise people will perish. And getting more from less is one of the very critical issues. So let's build on the past and act in the present and create the future by embracing, advancing, fostering, cultivating Gandhian engineering. That is what I was just thinking. And these are some thoughts I'm having at this point of the time. Some of them already well established. I'm trying to build up a prism, a pyramid in Gandhian engineering, with including the concept of the lean project management and agile management, design thinking, open innovation, because innovation is the key. Innovation is the factor that is responsible for getting eminent, people becoming eminent, like Thomas Alva Edison, but the inventor has not got credit. The innovator has got the credit. So let us all talk about innovation. I request Engineering Staff College of India be a source of innovation instead of engineers, an inspiring institution to promote the innovation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Really, it is an excellent talk, sir, including the open innovation, design thinking, and innovation, and also especially the inventor, and also inventor and innovator. This is really, it is a very good and excellent talk, sir. But time is very limited. That's why it is required a lot of time. It is minimum full taking or no, full off session is required, sir. For
This
this talk, sir.
3 hours in AIT, sir. Asian of technology, I get 3 hours.
Yes,
Same,
sir. Minimum
right?
3 hours, sir. So this is a really very good talk, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, once again. Now I am requesting somebody want to ask some question. Narsimham sir is there. You want to ask something, sir? Please raise the hand.
Yes, Narasimha Rao.
Narsimha Rao garu. Narsimha Rao garu.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning. It's a very, very interesting lecture I had in recent times. Really, the Gandhian principles in engineering is a must, particularly for those at least who had a rich experience. If a young scientist is there, he may be more analytical, but people like experienced or retired or aged people, they should bring out these Gandhian principles in the engineering aspects. In this regard, particularly the Gandhian principles is very much required, particularly in the utilization of the scarce resources. Really, I'm inspired. In particular, I got many ideas, particularly in irrigation engineering. I am an irrigation engineer because these Gandhian concepts where we have to get more value with the less things. That's a scarce quantities. Really, it's inspiring. As our chairman said, it needs a detailed talk. Furthermore, particularly limiting ourselves to the water resources, particularly to the Krishna Basin, where water is a scarce resources and states are fighting for the water. In those things, this Gandhian principles brings. If we adopt these Gandhian principles to curtail the luxury of water and to bring the more efficiency in the usage of the water, definitely it will satisfy the needs and the requirements of the all basin states in irrigation engineering. Really, I'm inspired with this your lecture. I thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Narasimha Rao. Just I add, see, what irrigation engineering is one of the very important issues because it ultimately the farmer who is producing food, he is looking for the technology, how the technology can be used. And we always talk about Gandhi means only non-violence and Khadi and those, but these are all minor issues. He has done a lot of specific knowledge and technologies. He has contributed many articles on applications of technology. What should be the forethought ultimately? I think the irrigation engineering happens to be one of the very significant issues. So, for example, sir, a 0.5% improvement in a day for a period of 1 year, 200 days, will make his production double in 1 year. 0.5%. If I had done some work yesterday and if I improve a 0.5% today in my irrigation structure performance, what are the issues that are to be addressed? Within 200 days, that is 1 year, my performance get doubled. That is what exactly I am calculating. Thank you, sir. It's a very great insight.
Sir, now one more, Shamal Rao, sir. Shamala Sharma.
Sir,
Please.
yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, I am GSR Sharma speaking. At the outset, it is a very informative and useful lecture. I just wanted a bit of clarification in the sense that which are the agencies in India that help out the transformation of inventions into innovations at the grassroots level, be it at the village level, and be it at the middle level, that is industrial sector, and be it in the top level of highly skilled companies. Which are the agencies in India and how to get this information?
Dr. Sharma Garu,
Yes, sir.
Sharma, I think you are raising a very important point. See, there are in India, all departments of government, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Indian Space Research Organization, Baba Atomic Energy, Meteorology Department, Agriculture Research Institution, like that, each department has got their own laboratories doing a lot of work and publishing papers and deriving patents. So if we identify what type of activity we are thinking we need to protect, approach that particular department and go through the department and get what are all the patents that they have created, what are the publications they have created, and those patents, can we use them, the product which I am working? Like that, I think that is one of the thinkings I am having. But I cannot do any of those things. If anyone comes a particular development, I'll say, please look into the patents developed by that particular department, whether you can match those things. Essentially, this is not the only way. There are several ways of doing this, and there is no specific organization to answer the query you are raised. The entire government of India machinery, depending on the topic we are talking, whether it is water, space, agriculture, food, health, electronics, instrumentation, aircraft, aerial flying, etc. They all vary with the type of inputs they are asking. Thank you, sir. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Venkaya sir. Okay, sir. Please, sir.
At the outset, I congratulate the excellent and highly intellectual exposition by Professor Murali Krishna Garu. And it's a what's called, to me, it is a kind of a deep learning. I congratulate the executive body of the Institution of Engineers India for organizing this wonderful event. In fact, this theme, as we have seen, there are close to 60 slides, and half of them were walked through, and emphasis was given where it was necessary. That was a great exposition indeed, leading us to understand the kind of need that the nation today needs. What we need is this kind of Gandhian engineering process, and as a strategy is required for rural development in a big way in this country. Still, most of the rural areas, particularly the remote parts of the rural area and also tribal belts, need a lot of support from the government, and for which the top-down approach is necessary to percolate this philosophy of more and more from less and less, the core of the Gandhian philosophy. And all of them talk about his contribution as a leader to bring about independence and also liberation of the nation from the foreign rule. But the kind of values built in the business model in this Ghanaian engineering model explained by the chief guest is really, really very interesting and informative and thought-provoking. I think these are my observations. It is necessary that the Institution of Engineers India may take necessary steps to see that the message is given to the government of India, appropriate departments, and see that the policy is taken up in a big way. I mean, it's particularly small and micro institutions require this kind of strategy. We need creative thinking, critical analysis, and empathy to see really that this works. Thank you very much for the wonderful lecture by the chief guest, and also I thank the authorities of the Institution of Engineers India. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your kind, appreciation and explanation. Thank you, sir.
Sir, now I'm requesting our engineer T. Anjaya, please propose the vote of thanks.
Hello, is it audible, sir?
Audible.
Respected chief guest,
Low voice వస్తుంది మీది.
respected chief guest, dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, distinguished guests, fellow faculty, media friends, family members of Engineer K.V. Srinivasav and Engineer M.L. Swami, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to perform the pleasant duty of proposing vote of thanks. On behalf of the Institution of Engineers India, Telangana State Center, and on my own behalf, I convey our sincere and profound thanks to Dr. I.V. Murali, who made it convenient to be amidst us to this webinar and delivered engineers L. Venkatakrishna Ayar, KV Srinivasa and ML Swami 20th Endowment lecture on a very important topic on Ghandian engineering through a framework of open innovation and lean management. Really, your lecture is excellent, sir. Everybody is praising for your lecture, and so many doctors have attended after this webinar, sir. I thank also Professor Dr. Ramna Nayak Bhanati for introducing the chief guest to the elite question. We thank the guest fellow community who made it convenient to be with us for this important event. Thank you, one and all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Very excellent talks today. Thank you.
We'll meet in Institute of Engineers India.
Yes, sir. We'll come